Why did I switch from the Duster? I'm so sorry, Charger. I knew I could get a lot of this metal done, at least by the time No Name Nationals come. But switching gears to the Duster. You've been sleeping. I think it might be time to wake up. I think you have a date with Sikeston, Missouri in September. Let's do it. But I don't know electrical. I'll figure it out. Working on the car, I ain't working around that. Blech. Time to find another home. Unless I find the source that made it, then he's gonna die. Here's the plan. I got all of this stuff in my way, right here. Under the blue tarp is the Duster. Here's my garage. Wife did not want that car over here, so I could work on it a little easier. So therefore, I got a clear path to go through here. And I moved my dart already. Thank you, dart. I need to rebuild the 4-speed in it. It's here, now I can walk through here. Now I can get to my car. This is my to-do list so far. I got the starter put in, but then I went to put the header in and it just didn't want to go in there. I was like, I thought I had a mini starter somewhere. Found a used one I got from Pull and Save, but I had a new one in a box. Even better. So I'll pull that one out, put this one in loosely, put this in first. My friend Austin, he modified a header for me. Had to beat the crap out of it in order to make it fit. But he did all this because trying to find A-body headers are almost impossible. This one got beat the living tar out of, but we'll see how it does. After much cussing and swearing and getting really mad, these headers, I finally figured out the routine of going back and forth, in and out of here. What I got to do is jack the car up to Kingdom Come to drop the tail end of the header to get it up in, to get it in like that. So I got that figured out, but then it would not go on my studs, which 3 of them are gone. Got to figure that out. But if I jack the engine up about 2 inches, then they'll just drop right on, then I lower it. But then I could not get the starter in this nice little cage here. The big one would not fit. The small one, I could actually get it to fit in there. If the starter was installed first, there is no way the header would go in. So I got to do the header first. Then the mini starter, thank goodness, that thing is down here at my feet. It would go butt first through here, and if you twist it, then you can get it in. Okay, so I got that figured out. So now this is my last but then when I put the header in, it was hitting at the end of the starter on this tube right here, and things just would not allow it to go in, so I had to beat it some. I need 2 hands now. He put this curve in it for that hole right there. That's where my steering column comes through, and it goes right up against that, right up against that, and this is where the steering pump goes, you know, right in between the motor right there. And then he had to beat the snot out of that to get that to fit down here between the torsion bar and the frame rail. But hey, I'll take it, because I didn't know what else to use on this thing. So anyway, hopefully this will be my last time installing this booger. Then I can get the starter in, and then my steering column. Then I can work on my brakes, my brake pedal, my brakes, and everything. I had to hog the snot out of that end of the ear to make things line up. I hope this is the last time I have to do this. So much for my nice white paint job. Now the question is, do I have enough room between here and there? That's in all the way. Things are closing up here. Good. All my gaps are closing. This one needs a little bit of tension to hold it on because it's all custom. And if I lower the engine, because right now I don't have a gap there, which I should. Let's drop this down just about an inch. Or all the way. That's tight, but I'm gonna run with it. Now that I've shown you how to do it, by the way, I have this off because this overhang on the valve covers just in the way of everything. So I just got to be careful not to get crap in there. Now that I showed you how to do it and everything's where it's supposed to be, I forgot my header gasket. So let's take it apart, put it back in again. I will put the gasket in later. But on this side, there's one kind of on, but I bought a different set that's thicker. I'll switch them out, put them on. But what I want to do is this header over here needs some love as well, where it makes the curve. Right down here at the corner of the transmission pan, it hits, so I need to beat that in a little bit right there at the bend. I got that side out finally. Headers are a pain in the butt. Thought I'd let you know that. I'm sure you already do, but we like to hear it again. I beat what I could here. Time to cut this in half. Almost. And this one, I don't think there's enough room for that bolt to go right there and right here. Or should I say nut to go onto the stud. I sure hope I know what I'm doing. I tried heating this one up. I tried vice grips, tried to pull it out, but that wasn't happening. Because I bought this little bag of header bolts, and I was just gonna put them in, but I didn't want to take all these out, I guess. And I'm like, I'll just cut some of these because they're a little long for those ones. And I'm like, I'll just be fine with what I've got. Maybe use this on something, the charger or something. Let's put this side in now. Time to rebuild my steering column. This one that was on here, the gasket wasn't sealing. It's all swollen, and this one's cracked and everything. And then when I wiped the grease off, this thing here is all smashed down. I did not do that. It was like that. And I was like, okay, I'm glad and this will not come out. I'm rebuilding this. Luckily I had this other one from another steering column, and so I'm going to rebuild it with this rebuild kit. Now I can get this booger in there. Hi Rusty, there you are, buddy. You missed it. I threw the ball for Goldie and you weren't here. Want to go play? You want to go play? Let's go play. Happy 7/27 day. Last night I put this in. When I put it in, it hit the header and it undid all my handiwork. Lovely. Oh well. And then I'm about 3/4 of an inch from fitting on down here. So that means that this is going to come down about 3/4 of an inch more, and it's going to get right in my way of my header. I took this out and I took my propane torch and I heated up, and then I smacked it flat, so this was rubbing against it. I got about 1/2 inch in between there, but now I have to come down further, and then this collar is going to hit probably about right in here somewhere. I took a marker and I marked the high and the outside edge all the way around it, how much further I need to go. So I'm just going to pound this backwards more and just take this tube and more or less flatten it a little in the back, and hope that that works. So I'm running out of options. And then once it goes past this box should clear that header, and then I'll assemble everything again, and hopefully it should just go in. Right, Rusty? This 4-car. I got that beat in. This whole section in the backside for the collar. That's for the column, or the shaft. And then this is kind of some fine tuning marks. I need to knock this area in a little bit more so that that collar can fit right there. It keeps knocking off the top plate of the steering box, so I'm going to knock it in a little so it'll clear it a little better. And tighten them back down again, and do not forget that little pin. That keeps your whole shaft from slipping out of here. It's in again. This time I put it in, and of course this popped it off again. You can see how close it is. And so I reached in there and I pulled that pin up. So what I'm going to do is pull the steering shaft out one more time, because this actually clears now, this ring. But now that this is in where it's supposed to be, everything's pushed over a little more, and so now I got a big old gap. I need my gap back. It closed up on me right there. So I'm going to take all this out again, heat this up, and pound that back some more. I tried pounding these back, but this metal is way tougher than this stuff. I'll try to get more clearance there too one last time. It was a pain in the butt trying to get this to go around this down tube on at an angle on the steering pump. So what I did was pulled that pin. I'm just going to back it out, and hopefully this will be easier putting it in there than trying to get this whole thing on there. So we'll see. Okay, now to get it inside there. Hi Goldie. Hi honey bunny. Did you come to wish me well? Rusty's always by my side. I have it in. It went in so much easier that way, putting that on first. Now I gotta figure out how in the world to get this back on. That's gonna be a pain in the butt. But so far I like my clearances. That's so much better. I'm glad I took the time to take that off and do it again. Now everything is clearing there. It's clearing there with bigger clearances. Beat the snot out of it again. So yeah. Let's see if I can get this on. Aha. If there's a will, there's a way. Took a wire, wrapped it around there so I could clamp these things tight. Now I can just, I jack the car up so that I can turn the wheel so I can spin this so I can get all the corners knocked down. This little nub went onto this collar right here. I don't know what it's for. It's a screw apparently, because I gave it a quarter turn to back it out to look at it, and when I did that it broke. So it broke off inside of there. But what happened when I turned the steering wheel, that thing would go, it would rotate and come around and hit on the header. You turn it the other way and it would hit on the other side. I'm like, are you kidding me? So now that it broke out, I am just going to take a little spot. Oh, there it is actually. I'm going to take my welder and just weld that solid in there. This way I can turn my steering wheel all the way around without it hitting. Do not do that at home. Next chapter's done. Get these off of here. Hopefully that'll hold. Now I gotta put that pin in right there. I got my wheels straight. Got my steering wheel centered. I think we're good to go. Now I can steer my car for the first time since I've ever had it. I do have the steering wheel, but it doesn't, I'll have to figure out how it goes on. But at least that one's on for now.
That was easy.
Thanks for watching.